We have some massive updates from one of the Somali-run daycares in Minnesota. We're going to be hearing from one of the owner's son explaining in detail, talking about how this daycare is run. You'll probably seen this famous video from Nick Shirley going over these daycares in Minnesota, knocking on doors, doing investigations. And now we're going to be hearing exactly from one of the owner's son explaining how this daycare is run, why the doors are closed, why there's no kids there. So we're going to be hearing from him, and also he's going to be answering some questions about money and etc. So let's check out this video from the owner's son.
My name is Ibrahim Ali, Ibrahim. Last name Ali. I am the son of the owner. As Minnesota, as Somalis, as people that own this business for 8 years now, we do nothing but to uplift the community, uplift our children, uplift one another, uplift non-Somalis, uplift Somalis, to make a better community for all of us. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, they're not doing it, it's just like if he would have came during operational hours and there's no one here, okay, you've got a point. He came, I think it was 11 a.m. Obviously, there's no cars in the parking lot. If you look around, there's cars now. Yeah, because our employees are here, our children are here, our clients are here. But don't come at 10 a.m. and they're like, hey, their door's not open. Obviously, our door's not going to be open at 10 a.m. We're not open 10 a.m. The sign on the door says that. Opening a daycare license is not easy whatsoever. I see a lot of people pointing fingers at DHS. DHS does a good job, to the point that if you ask most daycare owners, Somali or not Somali, it's a really strenuous process. You have to admit paperwork. You have to submit paperwork daily. You have to do a monthly. You have to do a yearly. They have to make sure kids are coming. They have to make sure parents are busy with work or school per se. If the parents are not occupied, we don't get paid. So for example, you bring your children to me. While we're open, if you're at home, we don't get paid for those children. Those children can't come to us. We can decide as a daycare, hey, like out of just to do a favor for the parent, we'll bring the parents. But those kids, we're not gonna get paid for it. The day their parents stop working or stop going to school, we don't get paid for it. So it's not like, hey, just enroll yourself in daycare. It's not that easy. The parents themselves, yearly, there's a redetermination form, how much they make, where they live, the house income, the size of the house. They have to fill all those out. What kind of income they make, both parents, how much they make. If they make over a certain threshold, the government does not pay for it. So it's not like the government is paying for people that have their pockets full. It's people that can't afford it and are working and are going to school. So the government and DHS make sure that person is not able to take care of the children. That's the only time they can bring it to our daycare or any daycare. If the parent is at home, we're not getting paid.
What do you say to people who say this is like all for show, like all the cars in the parking lot, the kids being dropped off now, it's only a response to that video?
We spoke about this earlier. You guys can come tomorrow. You guys can come on Thursday. You guys can come back Monday. If there's not this many cars, let me know. There'll be this many cars. There'll be children going in and out, because that's what a daycare center is. There's employees, there's food that we have to serve them. We have to serve them lunch, 2 snacks, and dinner. For 60 plus kids, that bill is not small. That bill is not small. We pay the teachers, obviously. We have to pay the teachers a good wage, standard, if not more. When they're with us for a certain time, we have to increase their pay. We have to make sure the toys are up to date. We have to make sure even the electronics they use inside the building is up to date. So it's not like the money comes and it's in our pockets. It's hardworking people that are here. It's hardworking parents. It's hardworking employees. It's hardworking owners that make all this happen. It's not one or two people that make this happen.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you?
I have nothing against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. If you're gonna be a journalist, just have a moral compass. Like, do what you do correctly. If you catch businesses that are fraud, no one here is with that, or like, we don't support that as a community. I don't support that myself. I was born and raised here. I'm not for fraud. Like, the notion that, hey, a certain batch of Somalis got caught, so all of them support it, it's like, no one, if in any community, any mishaps that happen, the rest of the community obviously doesn't want that to happen. It's a stain on all of our names, as you guys can see. We don't want that to happen. We don't take part in that. We don't like that. We don't want that in our communities. But just to say, hey, a certain company got caught, so they must all do it, and I feel like that's what he's doing, I'm not a fan of that.
2 to 10 p.m. may not be your typical daycare hours, so can you explain why it is that
the
you operate during these hours?
reason for that is we're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's when our kids come to us. We don't have anyone in the morning. We deal with only parents and clients that come to us after school. So that's why ours are 2 to 10 p.m. If we try to do, just as a side note, if I try to tell you guys, if you try to open in the morning, it's not as advantageous because if the parent has 5 to 6 kids, they're not able to bring most of them because they're going to be at school. They'll bring you an infant, but you'll maybe have 8 to 10 infants. You can't really suffice the business with that.
There was a Zoom call today with the state, with politicians in the House that said that you closed last week. I'm walking up. So yeah.
I discussed that with her. We never closed. There was never a sign on our door. There was never a time where kids were told to stop coming. There was never a time we told our employees to stop coming. All that's false information. Like, where does this come from?
From a Zoom call today with the...
No, we were not closed. We didn't tell anyone we were closed. We didn't email by DHS and then be sent back for you to be closed per se. That was never done.
Do you think the commissioner mistook your facility for a different place, or how exactly does the state get that information?
I'd rather not speak for them, but that's completely false information. That's nothing that we, like I said, filled out and submitted to anybody. So where does it come from?
Can we get a tour of the center?
Not right now, only because most daycares, the issue is parents do not allow us to have their children recorded. And it's not just daycares. I know a lot of journalists like to make it a daycare issue. You can't go in schools and like record children because we have forms when we're submitting our students. 99% of the time, the parent's gonna say, "Hey, I don't want my child on any sort of camera." But for our own sake, when we're taking them to playgrounds and whatnot, we don't record them because the parents tell you not to. So it's out of the safety of the kids. That's why we specifically ask that the camera is over here and not over there, so the kids are not recorded. And once again, I'd like to conclude, the YouTuber that was making the claims, you were here earlier today. I came here at 1 o'clock. You were here. Where are you now? You claim we're closed. You claim we're a fraud. Where are you? Why are you not here right now? It's like you're trying to put out a certain message about a certain group. I'm not gonna make that claim. I don't want to make that claim without me knowing him personally, but that's what it seems like he's doing from his front. Where are you right now? He was here earlier. He was recording us. We had no issue with it. We told him, hey, just get off our property. You can record. Now he's not here.
Could you just confirm how many employees you have and how many students you're serving on an average day?
We have about 25 employees, and children, we're at 92, I believe it is. Our capacity is 99, so we don't really like to touch 90 and above. We're at 92 right now. Our capacity, though, is 99. That capacity is set by the fire marshal, not. Like I said, this is not like something you can just write on a piece of paper. The fire marshal sets the standards for the building size. We didn't get to choose, hey, that night we didn't get to choose that.
But how many would come in daily? How many kids, roughly?
50 to 80, depending on the day, depending on the weather, depending on if they play sports. There's a lot of different factors that go into it, but children are here. And like I said, I'll conclude this, you guys come here tomorrow. You guys come here Thursday. You guys can come here Monday. The kids will be here. Just federal holidays, just to be clear, I know there's a lot of rhetoric around federal holidays. Federal holidays are paid days for us. So we're closed on those days. Like New Year's Day, January 1st, we're not gonna be here. Just to be clear, it's not because it's fraud, it's not because it's closed. Clients and parents all know alike, we're not open. Christmas Day, we weren't open. It's not because of fraud. It's not because we don't celebrate Christmas, but it's a paid holiday. We're given a certain amount of calendar days throughout the year which we can submit as paid holidays. And it's one of those paid holidays. So, like I said,
confirm for us the $4 million figure. We've been hearing that a lot. Is that
don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
$4 million.
That's a completely false claim. We don't make that much with the amount of children we have.
How much money are you receiving money from the state, or how does the funding work here for you all?
Yeah, I don't think people understand how that works at all.
The funding works. You're given a certain threshold per child. The younger the child is, the more you get paid. The older they are, the younger they get paid. The less you're paid. So depending on how many children you have is how much you get paid per family. But we don't make those standards. CCAP and the government makes those standards. We don't make those standards. We're not allowed to build a cent more. Like say for example, infant, you get paid a certain rate. You're not gonna get paid a cent more than that once you bill it. So if there's a certain amount we make. That's from the kids we take care of. We feed, we clothe, we pick up, we drop off. That's what we submit to the government. The government pays us for that. So it's not, none of it is stolen money.